A Polish Jewish man was desperately trying to escape Nazi soldiers. For days, he hid inside an abandoned hospital, surviving on scraps of leftover food and filthy water. One day, German troops set the entire building on fire. Terrified, he ran for his life and somehow escaped through a broken wall. What he saw outside stunned him. The city lay in ruins. He hid among the rubble, moving from destroyed house to destroyed house in search of food. By sheer luck, he found some supplies inside a box. Late that night, as he tried to open it, the box slipped from his hands and hit the floor. Suddenly, a German officer stood in front of him. Frozen with fear, he couldn't speak. The officer calmly asked what he was doing, then followed up with another question. What did he do before the war? He answered honestly. He said he was just trying to open his food and that he used to be a piano player. The officer was skeptical. He told him that if he really played the piano, he should prove it. There was a piano in the room. As soon as he began to play, the officer stood silently and listened. By the end, he was convinced and deeply moved. The officer then asked where he was hiding and whether he had any food. After that, he left, but instead of killing him, he chose to spare his life. The man was overwhelmed with emotion, certain that death had been moments away. A few days later, the officer returned, this time bringing food. He also shared hopeful news. The Soviet army had reached the border, and Germany was likely to lose the war. He told him to stay hidden in the building for a few more weeks, promising everything would be fine. For the first time in a long while, he ate real food. From the bottom of his heart, he thanked the officer and promised himself he would never forget his kindness. As German forces were pushed out of Poland, the officer came one last time. He brought more food and a warm coat. Shocked and grateful, the man asked how he could ever repay him. The officer said nothing and walked away. Days later, he heard the Polish national anthem playing from a passing car. He realized the country was finally free. Overcome with joy, he ran outside. But a woman suddenly shouted that he was a Nazi soldier, mistaking him for the enemy because of the coat he was wearing. Polish soldiers rushed toward him. He immediately raised his hands and shouted that he was Polish, explaining he wore the coat only to survive the cold. After questioning him, they finally believed his story. Weeks later, captured German soldiers were held in a prisoner camp. A Jewish soldier began angrily cursing them for the suffering they had caused. At that moment, the same officer stepped forward and asked if he knew a famous pianist who once played on the radio. The soldier turned out to be his old friend. The officer gave him his name and asked him to pass along a message to help get him out of the camp. When the pianist heard this, he went to the camp immediately.